Mhm.
Get her done. We're live.
Live on YouTube. Hello, world.
Live from New York. It's Turn In Your Guns.
See, that would get me hurt or dead. Talk about starting a day off wrong. You wake up, drink a part of a cup of coffee, then you hear a knock at the door. You open up your front door, and there stand six guys in black uniforms saying, "We're here to collect your firearms."
Yeah, that would not be fun.
No, no.
Well, it could happen in a handful of different places. Oregon being one of them.
Oregon, California, New York, New Jersey,
The hell just happened to my
Connecticut.
phone? Oh, there it goes. That was weird. Oh, that's something I was going to try and look for was the heck is that group? Something. I forget now. Some
And
group of lawyers or something that was asking for I think the Oregon thing should be spread nationwide.
oh, so they're a bunch of idiots, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I think they're Bloomberg backed or whatever. If someone was talking about yesterday in the Daily Show.
Yes, we have Bloomberg and Soros and the Nancy Pelosi's of the world. And what I don't understand, if they're so unhappy with the gun laws here in the United States, why don't they just pack their shit and move their asses to Europe instead of destroying us?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a great, big, wonderful world out there.
I mean, I'll give them this, but that when they're trying to get stuff voted on or whatever, that is kind of how our country is supposed to work. It sucks when it doesn't go the way we want it or whatever, but that's how it works. So, as far as saying, "Oh, just get the hell out of here" or whatever, well, they have a right to their opinion. They have the right to be wrong.
Yes, but they do
Um,
not have the right to try to forcibly take our rights away from us, which is basically what they're trying to do.
I agree. That's why they do it in small steps, though. Because yeah, ultimately they just want to take all guns away. I mean, that's what they want. They wish guns were never invented. They're living in a fantasy world that all bad guys will obey laws and everything will be fine. And that's really where the disconnect comes in. I think there are some that like, I hesitate to really start calling out for like the only reason they want the guns is because they want to be a tyrannical government and blah 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 all that stuff. Although, yeah, most dictators that's exactly what they do. They get rid of the people's guns. I think the vast majority of them are, useful idiots. They think they're doing the right thing. They're just misguided. And so, I don't know. I can't find. I don't remember what that place was. I thought it had something to do with like a group of lawyers or whatever. But anyways, maybe someone will say it. I can look it up. But I try and give people the benefit of the doubt. I'd like to think that most people are willing to listen to rational arguments and change. They're open-minded enough to change their mind. I know some people aren't, but that's my starting point, is that I may be able to change their mind, and so I just try and explore with them, get them to figure out for themselves that you're not really helping anything just by getting rid of guns. So how about you stop doing that? It's amazing to me that the disconnect between like every other rights and guns. I've quoted, and I normally phrase it as like, the great, I don't know, like political philosopher of our time, or I say something kind of weird, but basically I'm quoting Hillary Clinton when I say a right delayed is a right denied. And she was talking about a different right that, she likes, but then those are the same people that want waiting periods, the same people that want to make, permits to be super expensive so that poor people can't get them, and like all this other stuff. And it's like, wait a minute. If this was for any other thing, poll taxes are illegal because you can't force someone to pay to allow them to vote. This is something, spoiler alert, I'm going to get into on Every Second Matters, because there's a thing in, oh my God, which fucking state? I got to open here somewhere. Fuck, what happened to my mouse? Dude, my computer's acting up. Not today, motherfucker. Utah. Utah recently, their concealed carry fee, they increased it. I didn't find out by how much, but either way, they increased the fee or whatever, and oh my God, what was I getting to? I lost my train of thought. Oh, crap.
Yeah, well, it's too early for,
Yeah, I guess it's good that I'm getting all this out of the way now, so that for Every Second Matters, I'm on point and sharp. Crap, I just thought of it earlier this morning too. But it was just along the lines of the whole, like, you wouldn't pay a poll tax. Why should you have to pay a bunch of money to,
defend your
exercise your
rights.
Second Amendment right? Crap, it was gonna bug me. I don't remember what the hell I was gonna say. It was good too. It was clever.
You see, what people don't seem to get and what people don't seem to realize, most of the anti-gunners could care less about your rights. Period.
Well,
And
yeah,
that's just the bottom line. And if they can take the guns from you, then they can slowly erode the rest of your rights. And you basically live in the world that they really want you to live in, which is they are in total control of everything.
right. Well, and I definitely think the ones pulling the strings think that way. And that's what I was kind of saying earlier when you said
Well,
most anti-gunners, that's the part I disagree with. Most anti-gunners are regular people who
well,
think they're doing the right thing. And
when I
that
say
those are the people
most,
I
I'm
give the
talking
benefit
about
of
the
the doubt.
ones with the money and the power
Right. That's a
done.
very small minority though. Like of all anti-gunners, there's only one Bloomberg, there's only one Soros, there's only one Gabby Gifford. There's maybe a dozen people that try and call all the shots, and they have a whole
Yeah.
shit ton of useful idiots. So by educating the idiots, and I'm saying not because they're, dumb, maybe it's more they're useful, ignorant people. And I personally don't think ignorant's a bad word if you use it correctly. They just don't know. So if you educate those people, then Bloomberg won't be able to trick them when he says, "Hey, we need to have this smart gun technology," or blah blah. The people go, "Wait a minute, that doesn't really make sense. What the hell are you doing?" Or the biggest thing, I've talked about this before.
You know, why would you want a gun that somebody could hack into and shut down?
Right. Well, and that's my biggest thing on that, and this is where I have a mixed opinion when it comes to like police officers and gun control issues. And that's mostly because, most police unions and different, the whatever, different like cop groups and all that stuff. Now, sheriffs are normally are better, and then like police chiefs tend to be worse. Although Detroit has a fucking awesome police chief. So I really like him. But anyways, they if smart guns are designed for the gun cannot be used except for by the correct person. Well, what type of people are most likely to have their own gun used against him? Statistically speaking, police officers are shot with their own guns more often than regular people are shot with their own guns. And that's why, I've seen different, like even in different countries, my freaking CZ has one. It's got a lanyard. It's literally designed to like attach it to you so somebody can't be more than an arm's length away from you with your own gun. They can't run away with it or like turn it on you. And I guess they could still shoot you with it, but it'd have to be right there in which you'd have a better chance of controlling them. But anyway, so if cops are the most likely to have their own guns turned against them, and smart guns are this magic thing that keeps people from getting shot with their own guns, then let the police use them for a while. And as soon as they say, okay, everything's all good, well, I still don't think they should be mandated, but you'd probably sell more of them. I mean, it worked for Glock. Glock said, look, everyone thought, oh, plastic guns, that's no good. That's untested technology. That's never going to work. And then the cops started using it, and then everyone said, oh, this is what the cops use. Now it's like the most popular gun in the country. So if it truly is a better mousetrap, then let someone else use the better mousetrap, and then if they convince me that it's worthwhile, maybe I'd get one. I probably wouldn't because I don't care how bulletproof the technology is. I want my gun to be dumb. I want pull the trigger, it goes bang. The more steps in between those actions, the less I want it.
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
But I truly, and it's almost not even gun related, but man, do I really hate when the government mandates a specific type of product to be sold. That's just like crony capitalism at its best type of thing. And that's the other thing. The left wouldn't like it if the government came out and said like everyone has to buy diesel trucks and roll coal. Everyone would be like, oh my God, you can't tell us what to do. Like, we want our electric cars. Okay, great. Then I think that electric cars should be available and people can buy them. I'm not gonna. But you know what I mean? It's like if they mandated something the other way, or like no guns can have safeties on them or something, then they'd be like, oh my God, this is horrible. The government can't tell us what to buy. And it's like, well, wait a minute, then how come you're saying that they have to have smart guns? Like, that's the government telling us what we have to buy. Or the micro stamping thing. Like, that's another one. It doesn't freaking exist. It's a fairy tale.
Well, it's been said for years, gun control is not about guns, it's about control.
Yeah, that's true.
It is true. It's not the point you were just making. If they come out and said, hey, look, from now on, the only car you can drive is a Prius and it has to be red, no other color, just red. People would throw a fit.
Right. Well, like I said, I like to do the thought experiments instead of saying, the government mandating something that the left would actually like. I try and try and get them into my shoes. How would you like it if like you had to have baby seal leather seats, or you had something that they don't like, and then they would realize, oh yeah, the government telling people what to do kind of sucks, because I don't like it when they tell me stuff to do that I don't like. But because they always see their issues being the ones presented, like, well, what if it was all Priuses? They'd be like, oh, it'd be great, awesome, I love nature or whatever. It's like, okay. Or what if, this, that, or the other? Like, oh, that'd be awesome because it doesn't affect me. Those are the things I want anyways. So when you've put the ball in their court, then they can start realizing, because I truly believe it's a more widespread issue, like we were touching on, as far as rights and personal choice and all that kind of stuff. Like, I just think that most people, or the vast majority of people, are generally good. That's how I normally say it. So I think if you let people do whatever the hell they want, the vast majority of people will do mostly good things. Will there be bad guys? Yes. Do you deal with them when that happens? Yes. I'm not an anarchist. There's things to do to try and stop bad guys or punish them after they do something. But the idea that like you might do something bad, therefore you can't have it at all, is ridiculous. Because someone might do bad stuff with just about every single thing in the world. So unless we're all walking around in bubbles and live in padded rooms, you're never going to be 100% safe. It's just not going to happen. So it's
even
a
then, you're
life,
not 100% safe. Yeah. Here's the thing: you can wake up in the morning, step out of your bed, fall over, hit your head on a cabinet, break your neck.
You could.
So what's the solution to that problem? You sleep on the floor. You have nothing in your room. And God forbid you walk out the door and step on a Lego, fall over, and fall down the stairs. Because then we're going to have to outlaw the Legos.
Oh yeah, Legos are about the worst things in the world to step on. I think there's a T-shirt. It's a dude with like a bunch of Legos spread out all around the ground, and it's like, what the hell did it say? Something about like, zombie plan check, or ultimate zombie plan or something like that. I'm just gonna surround my house with Legos. The zombies won't get me.
Yeah, it's like I said last night. If the zombies are going to come, I wish they'd hurry. I'm getting tired of waiting.
Yeah.
It's funny you brought that up. Not long ago, I was in this conversation with an individual, and they were talking about the whole zombie apocalypse thing. And I said, okay, so what is your plans when the zombie comes? And his response was, I'm going to Walmart. I'm going to set up shop in Walmart. And I was like, yeah, okay, well, here's the problem with that. 90% of the people in the world probably is thinking the exact same thing you are. Walmart's got everything you need to survive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why, like you said, yeah, everyone's gonna go. I mean, just look at here. Actually, just talking about this the other day. I joke around about the zombie apocalypse thing, and I have multiple zombie plans. Why? Because it's entertaining to talk with my friends about zombies, and we throw what ifs at each other and correct our plans accordingly.
You're in the mindset that it's bullshit and it's never really going to happen.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but anyways, so the thing is, people might make funny. Oh, you're prepping for zombies, haha, whatever. Okay, well, look at what happened down in Houston. If all of those people were prepared for zombies, a little fucking water ain't gonna do shit to them. When people aren't out there murdering each other on the streets all the time, and they don't have huge marauders and all this stuff. Well, then you having all that stuff, you're just even more prepared. Like it's a less than worst case scenario. It's a less than shit hits the fan. It's, poop got on the floor type scenario. It still sucks. And there's plenty of, tons of people are homeless now. And there's obviously a lot of help going on. And that's the other thing is they're getting outside help from all over the place because America's pretty fucking cool at helping each other. When push comes to shove, like, yeah, we can argue Democrat versus Republican, blah, 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 whatever. But when push comes to shove, if I got a boat and you're wearing a Bernie Sanders t-shirt, you can still get in my boat. I might make fun of you for it, but yeah, I'll let you in the boat. That type of thing. So if every single person down there was prepared for zombies, any other disaster is piece of cake. It's no problem. So that's why I do it. I lose power for a couple days or whatever. I got some food that I can cook just by boiling some water. Great. I don't have to open my freezer. Hopefully the meat stays. If it gets to the point where it's been quite a few days and, my freezer's pretty much about to, kick the bucket, well, then I'm going to crack out the charcoal barbecue grill and I'm going to go to town cooking up a shit ton of meat and I'm going to have a huge block party and give it to all my neighbors because at least it's getting used. It's not getting wasted.
Exactly. And we've actually done that before, by the way. Freezer go bad. Instead of wasting the food, we just cook it all up, start giving it away.
Yeah, I lost power one time, and it was right before I was getting ready to go out of town for a week. And it was how was it? It was a little bit ago, but it was one of like the worst like windstorms the Detroit area has ever had. DTE, which is like the Detroit Energy or whatever. It was like their most customer outages ever. Like it set records for the most, and that's the problem was it wasn't like one big line went down and knocked out a whole neighborhood. It was like 20 different things went down at individual people's houses. So what that meant was as they're fixing the problems and trying to get the most number of people back with power, anyone who just had like a small, like, oh, these 5 houses don't have power, they're the last ones on the list.
Yeah,
because they want to
hit the major populated areas first, and then they move on from there. If your house happens to be on a dead end street at the far end of town, well, you're going to be dead last, and it could take you a week and a half to get power back.
Right. Well, here's the thing: if it takes the same amount of time to fix one power line, do you want to fix one power line that returns 100 customers to power, or fix one power line that returns one person? You only have so much effort, and they brought in
the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the one.
From Ohio were coming up, a bunch of line workers or whatever. They all worked overtime and they paid all the travel and they got it done. And actually it worked out pretty good. The point of that story was that my parents still had power and they live, I don't know, about 10 minutes, 15 minutes away from me, something like that. And so, the first night was fine. Okay, whatever. And it was it springtime? Yeah, because it was cold at night. It wasn't too bad during the day, but it got cold at night. So, I just put on the extra blankets and all that kind of stuff. And then, we had worked out the other night, like the next night was like, okay, if I still don't have power when I get home from work, I'm going to pack up all my freezer stuff and take it to their house so I can put it in their freezer. Because like I said, I'm going to be out of town for a week. So I might get power back tomorrow and I won't know it. It's so, and it might be a whole week. And then I'd really be screwed. I'd come home to a rotten ass house. And then right as I was getting ready to start packing up all the stuff, my power came back on. So that was good. I was one of the luckier ones where I think it went out on a Wednesday and I got power back on Friday. And I was getting ready to go out of town from like Saturday to the following Saturday. Yeah, so it was a couple days. But either way, yeah, so that's another alternative is if you have someone nearby that maybe has some power, then you're good to go.
When I was a kid living in West Virginia, it was interesting because, of course, we had electric stove and all those other wonderful things. But we also had a coal and wood burning stove in the living room and a wood burning cook stove in the kitchen. So if the electricity went out, we always had a way to cook. So that was never an issue. And I remember a lot of times when, you know, and we lived in the mountains in the middle of nowhere. So when the power went out, it could be a while before we got somebody out there to work out and get it back on. But, everybody in the neighborhood always had that backup wood burning stove to cook on. And it was so cold, you didn't have to worry about your food going bad. If your freezer went dead, just open it up outside. And the weather itself would keep your stuff from thawing out. That's the one good thing I see about living in a cold winter environment. You don't have to worry about food spoilage, especially in the winter. In the summer, it's a bit different, but even in the summer, you can still cook because you've still got that wood burning stove. And even to this day, I if it was up to me, every house I would ever live in would have a wood burning stove in it for that very reason.
Yeah,
Not
that
only
is
does
pretty
it
useful.
not only does it provide you with heat, it provides you with a way to cook. And if you know how to run a stove right, you know, you can bank it off with wood at night and it'll last you hours easy without even touching it. You're going to be a little chilly when you wake up the next morning, but you got a fire in there already. Now you just throw more wood on it, shake it up.
Right. Just put some you know, some little stuff in there that catches easy just to get it sparks back up pretty good. And then you
Yep.
can go ahead and put big logs back in.
Yep. I mean, you can do that with a fireplace. It's just with a actual stove, man, it makes life so much easier.
Well, and that's yeah, and a stove tends to actually heat the area better. You know, a fireplace, I remember they actually did this on Mythbusters or whatever, but yeah, a fireplace, if you're sitting right in front of it, you feel warm. That's great. But because it pretty much is just sending air up the chimney, it's sucking in cold air from, your windows upstairs or around your doors or, wherever. And yeah, a stove does that also, but normally it's just got like a small little like grate, and then the heat is radiating out from the whole body of the stove. And if you're really fancy, then you get the inlet to the firebox, you pull from like the crawl space or something. So then you're not even
Well,
sucking in air from your house.
no. Well, see what you was talking. We did get fancy. They make these newer coal wood burning stoves. You can actually get what's called a blower to attach to the bottom of this thing, and it literally blows heat through the whole house. I remember we would open up the windows and doors in the middle of winter with snow on the ground just to cool the house down.
Hmm.
I mean, and we had a big house, but I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah, it seems like all my relatives who live up north, they have wood burning stoves and stuff. And I remember my dad's aunt, we used to always spend the night with her when we'd go up like until our house was done. Because me and my dad like built our house up there. So we had like the frame built and then we did everything else. So all the electrical, plumbing, drywall, flooring, finishing, everything else. But it was just like a shell of a house, which was fine. And we would stay there in the summer. We just had a couple like, I don't know, like rollaway bed type things. and just sleep on those. But and we'd go up in the winter also, and like the house was way too cold. You know, it's before we had a furnace, before we put the fireplace in, all that kind of stuff. So we'd stay with our aunt, and she had this thing. You know, she had a wood burning stove in the kitchen, and she had like an oven also. So like that was just kind of to heat the area. But I remember this thing. She used to sit on top of it. I forget what the hell the thing's called, but it's like a heat motor or whatever, right? So the difference in temperature makes this little plate like go up and down, and then you use that energy, and it was attached to a fan. So just the heat of the surface compared to like the cold part of the plate would make the thing move, and then the fan would blow, and it would blow the hot air like all around and like keep the air circulated so that it's a nice comfortable temperature in there. I thought the thing was so cool. It's just a big bulky chunk of metal type of thing and a really old school looking fan and all, and it, man, that thing was so cool.
Yep. And she'd probably always keep a pot of water on it. Keep moisture in the air. We always did that. If we had the stove going, there was always a pot of water sitting off to one corner of the top of the stove to just add moisture to the air, because that dry heat will eventually get to you.
Yeah, I don't remember her doing that. I remember her house being very staticky and pretty dry. I would wake up with like nosebleeds and stuff all the time because my sinuses would all dry out.
But it's.
And now she's got, and that's, I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, whatever, it works for her. Because she's still like she never had like a furnace or anything. It's always just been some type of burning thing that heats the house. But she has a corn stove. So basically, you dump this bucket of corn in the top in the little hopper, and the fire chamber is like just a tiny little thing. And this little auger drops like 2 or 3 kernels at a time, type of thing. Like, I mean, you can set it for like a temperature setting, and it will set more or less. But it works really. It's a lot cheaper than and a lot easier than wood. You just need a bunch of corn, and that's her son-in-law lives across the street, and he's a farmer, and so he always gets corn, at least enough to get her through the winter. But the thing is, when you're sitting there, all you hear is like tink 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 because there drops a little bit through the chute, and then 30 seconds later, you hear tink 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 tink. And it's like I guess you just ignore it after a while, but to me, it gets a little annoying. I'll be sitting there trying to talk to her, and I get distracted by it. She probably doesn't even notice it, right? Because she lives there, so it's just a thing that happens. Kind of like when I'm at home, my furnace kicks on or something. It's like, oh, I didn't really notice that sound. But apparently, it's like super high efficiency, like and her house it stays nice and warm in the winter, and it's not as dry as it used to be when she had the wood burning stove. So I'll give her credit for that. Yeah, there's people watching the chat. Why don't you hit the join button, guys?
Yeah, there's a link down there. There was. But remember, it's bring your own beer. We ain't sharing.
I'll share if you come over to my house. The invitation still stands. I got.
Just email me one.
I got cold pizza. I'll leave the front door unlocked. Just announce yourself. Otherwise, we'll both have a bad day. How creepy would that be?
I'm here for
door,
pizza.
like just opened up right this second. Like, yeah, that'd be a bad day.
Don't shoot. I'm here for the pizza.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to be careful with that kind of stuff of, walking into people's houses. Like me and my buddy, we each have a key to the house, and it used to be back in the day, I'll just go over to his house all the time and just like walk in and be like, "Hey, what's up, man?" And sometimes he wasn't even home, and I'd just be like, "Oh, okay, I guess he's not home," and I'd just leave and text him or something. But anyways, like, then he's got a girlfriend living there now, and so I always knock first, but I used to still like, okay, knock a couple times or whatever, like open the door, pop my head in, shout, see if they were home. Because it was weird. Like they had, I don't know, their cars were always like different cars and shit, and her car was always breaking down. So it's like if there wasn't a car in the driveway, didn't mean they weren't home, and if there was a car in the driveway, it didn't mean that they were home. So you just never knew. Anyways, apparently she had some dude like walked in through their garage door, and she was the only one home, and I guess he was like, "What the fuck are you doing in my house?" And she's like, this is my house. Like you're confused. Like I don't know if he was like a crackhead or something or what, but like freaked her the fuck out. And she like called the cops, let them know what happened. They're like, okay, like we'll guess try and find the guy or something. But it like super freaked her out. Well, I didn't know that this had happened. And I was coming over and I saw my buddy's car in the driveway. So I figured he was home. So I just unlocked the front door, walked in, was like, "Hey, what's going on?" And she fucking was freaked out, was like, "What the fuck?" And then it's like, "Oh, I know who you are." But like, yeah, for a minute there, I'm like, yeah, she probably was getting ready to like shoot me.
They say you're lucky she didn't have a gun.
Oh, she had one.
She just didn't use it. That's even luckier.
Yeah. Well, she was in the like in the side room or whatever. Like, yeah, if she was sitting in the living room, which is the front door leads right into the living room, then I might have had a problem. But she was like around the corner down the hallway, so
Yeah, here's the thing about that. I used to have a friend named Ronnie, and known him all my life. And he would pretty much come and go in the house whenever he wanted to. He wouldn't knock. He wouldn't bother. When I went to his place, it was the same thing. We were basically family, but what ended up happening is there was other people that would see our interaction, so they figured, well, it's okay for us to just walk in because he does.
oh
Of
yeah,
course,
that's
no, there's a difference between you and him. You got to be careful letting just anybody walk in and out of your house. Even people like that. Eventually it got to the point. Well, we're going to do something about this because somebody's going to walk in here that I don't know one of these days, and there's going to be an issue.
We used to have a thing when my daughter was in high school. Our house was kind of like the house everyone kind of hung out at, which was fun. We had a basement so they could go down there and do whatever they had to do. But our rule was, even if it's in the middle of the day, if our front porch light was on, come on in. If it's off, don't come in.
well, yeah, because you definitely don't want some punk teenager coming in killing the mood.
I mean, you
You
gotta
and
do
your
it,
lady.
Yeah, very rarely we out in the middle of the living room, but Or what if that little risky time happens?
Well, even if you're in your bedroom or something, hearing the front door open up kind of takes you out of the mood.
Some 16-year-old kid. What's up, Millers? Go away quickly.
What are you doing? Nothing now.
Go
You
away.
Thanks a lot.
Well, what we were doing was none of your business. What we are doing is getting dressed.
Yeah. Yeah, girls tend to not get back into the mood after something like that.
It doesn't take much. What the hell was that?
That was me stretching.
It didn't sound like a stretch. Might want to go check your drawers, man.
No. I stretch, bones start popping.
That's what she said.
Actually, that's exactly what she said.
You start stressing it, the bone will pop.
Get up in the morning, you stand straight up, bend over a little bit, and you hear, oh.
You're not like 80. You're not that
No.
old.
No, well, it's not that I'm that old. It's just that I had a very misspent youth and did things that most normal people probably shouldn't be doing. You know, like jumping out of moving vehicles and falling off mountains.
Why the hell would you do that?
Because I was stupid.
I don't think you're going to get any arguments from here.
I
You're jumping out of moving vehicles.
I wasn't expecting an argument. I was just, you know, I'm just telling you.
I support your freedom to jump out of cars anytime you want. That doesn't mean I have to agree with your sanity.
Exactly. In hindsight, let me tell you, I would not suggest it.
I jumped out of perfectly good airplanes and helicopters before, but I didn't have the choice. I tried to talk my way out of it.
I don't blame you, but you know what? I would love to do that. I would
No, you don't.
love
No,
to
you wouldn't.
parachute. Yeah, I would.
No, you wouldn't.
It'd scare the piss out of me, but I'd love to try it.
See, I'm terrified of heights. The very first time I had a jump, we were about 12,000 feet, I guess. And I look at this. It's my turn, and I've already hooked up. I look at the guy, and he's like, "You don't want to go, do you?" I was like, "Hell no, I don't want to go." He goes, "I'll tell you what. I'll give you two choices." I was like, "Sweet. What are they?" He goes, "You can jump out, or I can throw you out." And I'm like, "Fuck it, I'm out of here." There's no good reason to jump out of a perfectly good airplane.
I remember the first time I was ever in a jet, flying from Atlanta to New York, and we were flying over these lakes, and some of these lakes I'd actually fished on when I was, you know, younger. And I was like, when you're so high that a lake looks like a swimming pool, you're a little too high off the ground for my taste.
I love flying. That's the thing. It has nothing to do with flying. I think it's the fear. I actually don't know if I have a fear of heights or the fear of falling.
I think it's more of the fear of falling.
Or the fear of
falling is no problem. It's the sudden stop at the bottom that's the problem.
Yeah. The emergency brake, which is the earth.
Gravity's a bitch. I've made a few interesting falls in my life. Out of some trees and other places that I shouldn't have been to begin with.
I don't even want to know. Did you jump out of a tree or did you fall out of a tree? Two completely different issues.
Oh, well, I've done both.
Okay, so falling is one thing. That happens, especially when you've had a couple beers, but jumping?
Oh, yeah. I jumped off a 2-story building one time.
Into a pool? I've done that.
No, onto the ground.
Oh, that's
I was with a buddy of mine. We were cleaning some gutters.
And you thought, hell, this looks like a good place to jump?
Well, no, wasn't that. He reached down one of these gutters and flipped up a yellow jacket nest. And he started screaming and hollering. Yep, that's exactly why I jumped.
How'd that go for you?
Well, I was wearing a pair of boots, and when I hit, it'd been raining. The heels of the boots sucked up into the mud, broke them off, fell over and hit my back, hurt my back a little bit. It was an interesting day, and I still ended up getting
mud there because it could have broken your legs.
Yeah, well, I still ended up getting stung 5 or 6 times.
There you go. So it wasn't worth it in the end.
Mm.
What's up, John? How's New York today?
Hello?
He's
Hello?
like, it's just New York.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What up, yo?
I was reading about the fires in Washington.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
They're requesting help from anybody who's willing. It has a red card and able to volunteer and make their way over to Washington. And I saw you guys were on, so I said, hey, that's enough news. Here I am. How's everybody doing?
Good. I saw somewhere, I might have been mistaken, but like I saw somewhere that they think the fires could like last like
Till
over a
October.
month. Yeah.
Correct.
That's crazy.
Messed up. And the sad part is, a lot of the people that probably could have gone are in Texas.
Yeah. Yeah.
But enough of that about that depressing stuff. So what are we jumping next?
Dude, John, man, what are you, aspiring DJ?
What are we jumping next?
Well, I have no idea. It sounded like you were like rubbing your mic or something,
That was
like a DJ.
not exactly.
Well, I ain't jumping nothing anymore. Those days are behind me.
Ah, party killer.
God damn it. God damn it. Get away. Get away from my tower. Yeah, they shot it with a lightning bolt.
What the hell is going on with you?
I'm playing a game on my phone.
Uh-huh.
So where's everybody?
Well, the important people are all here.
I know. Where's everybody else though? It's like everybody went away for the holiday weekend or something.
I mean, we got the Ghost Man, we got Smeggy, you're here, John.
What else do we need?
Exactly.
So
The
yeah,
party.
going out of town for the holiday weekend's fairly popular.
That's so lame.
I mean,
The-
here's my thing of it, dude. It just fucking traffic's all crappy and all this stuff. In fact, I might go up north next weekend because like a lot of people like, oh, Labor Day, like that's the end of summer, like time to close up the cabin and not go up north anymore. So that's why I like the fall the best. Besides the fact that I like the weather really, you know, I like when it's a little cooler.
I totally agree with you. That's the worst time to go away. It's like you're celebrating the good weather, leaving the bad weather on its way.
Yeah, but it's also, I mean, I get it if people who, especially if you're going a little bit further to go out of town, like, oh yeah, up north's about a 4 hour drive for me, which can be kind of annoying, but go up a Friday after work, come back Sunday night, like you still get to enjoy yourself, get a couple of good days of vacation. So I get it when you have that extra third day, you know, it's nice to stay up all through Monday and come back Monday night or whatever. It's just that's what everybody else does also. So if I have the choice, I'd rather just go up next weekend.
My holiday weekends are usually the weekends after the actual holiday weekends. This way it's nice and quiet. It's not overpacked wherever I'm going.
Yep, that's always my strategy.
Smeggy, where exactly do you live?
Detroit.
Ah.
Exactly 1, 2, 3, 4 Anywhere Street.
Uh-huh.
We're getting that exactly.
Well, no, I'm not.
But yeah, no,
I'm not going to come knocking on your door, dude.
Especially not in Detroit.
I told you I got pizza. Come on over. You can figure
What
out
kind of
where I
pizza?
live. You deserve a cold piece of pizza.
On the other hand, how far are you from the lake,
Which one?
Erie?
Lake Erie? I don't know. Probably 40 minutes or so.
Okay.
Because I'm not in downtown Detroit or nothing, right? So about 20 minutes from downtown, but then you'd have to like go down the Detroit River before you get to Erie. I don't know. I've never driven to Lake Erie. I could probably go at a diagonal, and maybe it is a half hour, 20 minutes.
Why, something going on at Lake Erie?
Yes, walleye and smallmouth.
That's the only place that you can catch them?
Oh no, you can catch them anywhere. You know, all over the Northeast. There's walleye and smallmouth, but they grow them particularly nice in Michigan.
I thought you were going to say they grow particularly nice in Lake Erie, and I'm like, yeah, that's probably because of all the, extra extra chemicals in the water.
Oh, you talking about the ones that coming out with like 3 eyes and 8 fins?
Basically, yeah. Lake Erie used to be a lake you would not want to eat fish out of. It's cleaned up quite a bit, so you're probably fine now. But it used to not be so great.
That actually sounds like a good idea to go fishing on a day like today. No, I don't know what the weather is by you guys, but it's decent here.
I'll tell you something else is fun to fish on Lake Erie is carp. Lots of good carp fishing on Lake Erie.
As long as you keep those Asian carps out of the Great Lakes.
Well, they're on their way, brother.
Oh, I know. There was a big thing about it recently. Like they're what river is that?
Yangtze River?
Pretty sure that's China.
Well, he said the Chinese carp.
Well, it's the Asian carp, but they're in the U.S. and they're like down south. They are just going nuts. The problem is they're just really, really good at what they do, so they're knocking out all of the other resident fish because they're just eating up all the stuff. And I know they were coming up the Mississippi, but what's the one that connects Lake Michigan over towards the Mississippi? They were found in that river. Oh shit, they're almost in the lake. Once they get into Lake Michigan, they can connect to all 5 of the lake. The whole Great Lakes are fucked.
Are they like sharks?
No, they're
bull sharks go up there, but
they are a type of carp, and what they do is they destroy vegetation, and they have no real natural predators here in the United States. I think maybe alligator gar eat them, and as far as I know, that's about it. Maybe the smaller ones, catfish will take care of, but they're just destroying the natural habitat of the rivers, and the things like, bluegill that uses this vegetation for egg laying. Well, they're eating the eggs too, so.
Yeah, they sound like a predatory
case of, an animal or it, comes into a new area and is just way better at surviving in that area than the ones that are already there.
It's
Which
sort of
part
like
of me, I think sometimes we get a little overboard on invasive species stuff. Some people just go really nuts over it. It's well, wait a minute. If those things are just better at living in a certain area, then they should live in that area. But when they wipe out an entire thing, pretty much will be those are the only types of fish in the entire lake. because they're so awesome at eating everything else, then definitely you would have a problem. And they're starting to get that way. Some of the other stuff, I've seen stuff where they go nuts on like plants or whatever because like some flower's not supposed to be there and it grows, or it's like, dude, okay, like the animals in that area are just gonna have to learn to live with that flower. Like it's good at surviving. You know, like it's frost resistant or something, so it grows better than the other ones.
The biggest threat that we have right now for those Asian carps getting into, like you said, the Great Lakes, because once they're in the Great Lakes, well, that's going to put them in contact with the Ohio River, which is going to put them all the way down that end of the country, the Tennessee River, and anything connected to it.
That's why we need to fix this immigration.
The only thing I don't know about them is how well do they deal with cold water. Like I said, I know they're doing really well like down south, but I'm hoping maybe like in the winter when the lake freezes over a whole bunch, like they're not good at dealing with that. That's the only thing I don't know.
Around here, and the southeast in my area, South Carolina, I know's got them. Florida, we've got these things, invasive species called snakeheads, and they're a fish, and they're predatory, and they will eat about anything.
Do people ever catch them when they go fishing?
I've caught them.
Are they edible?
I don't know if they're edible or not, but it's a standing rule. If you catch them, you don't put them back in the water; they die. It's a law that if you catch one, you've got to kill it.
Now, how do you know if it's Asian?
Its eyes.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, man.
I'm asking a legitimate question.
It just because they look different than the other carp. I don't know exactly what they look like, but
are they different colored? Are they different?
Yeah, they have a different color. They have they don't act like a normal carp. In fact, you'll know them because if you're on a boat, they will actually jump out of the water because apparently the boat engines scare them.
So they'll jump into the boat?
Yeah, they have been known to actually hurt fishermen.
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen those videos before. People that are they're archery fishing. They drive the boat down and then the fish jump out of the water and they shoot them with the bow. You've seen those videos, right?
Mm-mm.
Anyways, those are Asian carp.
But I was just looking it up, and an Ohio State professor said that not to fear the Asian carp because they can't deal with the cold water. He said he's been working with them 15 years, and they don't. Something about their breeding, they can't breed in the cold water.
So freeze them out.
Okay, well then I guess we're safe, so screw you guys.
Okay.
Well, that's one professor's opinion. I don't know if he's going to be 100% correct, but
Right. Well, and maybe that might be where, because here's the thing. I don't mind if they live in the lake and they eat like a little bit, and then they're just like every other fish. Well, the problem is when they knock out 90% of the population of everything else.
Well, it's the same reason why it's an invasive species. Most of your invasive species come in, and the reason they take over is because they breed more, they eat more. That's why rabbits on certain areas that didn't have rabbits, they come and kill the vegetation. Rats can take over. Kudzu takes over like crazy because it grows so damn fast.
What the hell is kudzu?
Oh my goodness.
Kudzu is a vine. And around here it's prolific. Yeah, you can find it all over the place.
It'll take over ditches and sides of buildings. It's kind of like a vine ivy type thing. It's an Asian thing as well. It takes over.
Goddamn Asian things being so good at surviving in the U.S.
It will absolutely choke an oak tree to death. I mean, it will kill them.
Wow.
Yeah, and you can't go 10 feet down south without seeing kudzu. It's ridiculous.
And it grows thick. But we got a lot of problems with invasive species here in the southeastern United States. We have, like I said, the snakeheads in the rivers. We have, you go to Florida, you got to deal with, pythons and boas that people released into the swamps.
Are
And that's
alligators and crocodiles considered evasive? No,
well,
they're part of the natural
there
habitat.
are actually American crocodiles in Florida and
But
alligators.
those are considered part of the natural habitat.
Yeah, but they're considered natural because the American crocodile was here before. Well, we were. They've been here for thousands of years.
Well, and that's the thing that I was kind of getting at with the whole the whole natural selection thing. Like if you're a creature that is well suited for an area and you happen to survive well, part of me says, well, I guess good for you. Like it's not my fault that some other creature sucks at like freaking pandas. Yeah, they're cute, whatever. We can try and save them. That's fine. But they eat like the shittiest nutrition thing. Like bamboo has no nutrition at all, so they have to eat tons of it, and it's only in certain areas. And it's like, stop trying to live places where there isn't bamboo, because like, what the hell? Yeah, of course you're gonna die off. And I get it when humans are the ones that cut down all the bamboo, then yeah, that sucks, and we should probably not do that, or we should make places for them to live. Like I'm okay with saving animals, but people go overboard with some of the endangered species stuff where it ends up hurting the animals more than helping. And then the second part of it is some shit goes extinct. We don't have dinosaurs anymore. Mammals were better at living after the asteroid than dinosaurs were.
Well,
So we
that's
stuck
because
around. And actually,
that's
technically, we
because
do have dinosaurs because birds are still around. But you know what I mean.
that,
We don't have
that's
like the
because the
huge sauropods.
Transformers killed the dinosaurs off.
Yeah, unfortunately.
The Decepticons, those bastards.
Except I don't listen to that canon. I look at the actual cartoon, and that has got nothing to do with it. I was very disappointed in that movie, Age of Extinction.
Did I hear you're
Yes, so was
anti-panda?
He is
Yes, we're all
anti-panda. Survival of the
we are
fittest,
all
bitch.
anti-panda. In fact, if you had one here right now, I would be eating it.
Does it
Wow.
taste
Well,
good?
he does not speak for the group. I just want to clarify.
I would not be eating
By
panda.
I'm just
I wouldn't
saying,
eat panda either.
if a species is shitty at surviving in a place and a new species comes in that's really good at surviving at that place, why should we feel bad when that new species takes over and the other one dies off?
If I had
Survival
a
of the fittest.
panda, I would have the panda driving me around. Oh,
That's
I'm
if
not-
your panda could
That would be a
adapt.
good.
Well, that's just because you're weird, John.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I get him the little.
You're from
driver
New York.
hat,
It's
the little
it's
driver
expected.
Let's not forget that it's still a bear.
hat. But it's such a
Yes.
cute one.
And it would probably taste like bear, which is not a bad meat.
No,
I
there's
wouldn't know.
No, I doubt it would because it eats bamboo.
Listen,
And
I
like
am
old
not.
bamboo.
I am
so
not.
then it tastes weird.
Listen, I'm not eating my chauffeur.
I think there was a movie like that once.
Was there?
Yeah. In fact, I think it was called My Chauffeur.
Hannibal Lecter or something.
No. God.
Yes.
Ha 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 ha. Yeah, the name of the movie
With the
was
nice
My
red
Chauffeur.
wine.
It came out in the 80s.
Dude, I worked with a
God.
guy who he got in trouble for this comment, but there was a lady and she was like, looking at stuff and I guess she was kind of confused or whatever. And she's like, Jesus Christ. And he happened to be right like around the corner. So he stepped around and goes, yes, my child. And it's like, how may I help you or whatever, right? And she got so fucking offended. She complained to the manager and all this stuff. He's like, dude, it was a joke. I was going to help her like get the right plumbing she needed or whatever. Like,
Oh, I bet you are.
no, it wasn't me. It was the dude I worked with. But
Well,
yeah,
well,
I thought it was funny. I thought that was clever. That's a funny
well,
joke.
if his name was Jesus, technically,
Yeah, you got a point.
if his name was Jesus, it's not his fault.
She was
Well, it
talking
wasn't.
to him directly.
I just have to admit, if a person who worked at a store did that to me, I'd just start laughing and be like, "All right, cool. I'm glad you can help. What do I need to buy?"
Yeah, that's hilarious. People that get offended too easily, they need to readjust and rethink their lives, because
Totally.
if you're getting offended by just something so small and minuscule as a joke, then
Well, and here's the thing: how did she
Yeah.
know that he wasn't actually Jesus coming back? I mean, he could have been. I
well,
think if he came back in this world, he'd be like, "Yeah, I know I'm supposed to like do shit, but you guys are screwed up, man. I'm just gonna like lay low for a while."
She got so offended. She's probably the type of person that would eat panda.
she probably already has panda in her fridge.
I
Forget
would
about
eat
eating it.
panda, and
She's
it
got
wouldn't offend me. Then again, I'm also the guy that would love to try peacock. I want to know what a peacock tastes like. I've never eaten a peacock.
Can you
Peace
stop saying?
fowl.
Can you stop saying that?
No, I cannot.
Well, you know, there are a couple of wild ones over here, Ellis. You might need to make a trip. We'll go hunting.
I wonder if there's a
It
law
probably
against
just tastes
that.
like bird. I mean, I got.
It
I don't
probably
know.
does.
I think people think that exotic looking stuff like tastes super different or whatever, but it's like it probably just tastes like bird.
Well, I don't know, because have you ever ate pheasant and quail?
Yeah.
They do not taste the same at all.
No, they don't.
What do they taste like?
Pheasant and quail.
It tastes like bird.
Different types of bird.
I've never
you know.
I've never tried any like
Okay.
game meat.
John, let me put it this way. You know what chicken tastes like, right? Okay. You know what turkey tastes like, right? They don't taste the same, do they?
That depends on how you make it.
No.
I'm not sure why every time Night Strike said, "You know what so and so tastes like," someone made the sound of that. Like, did you think he asked, "You know what turkey sounds like"?
Damn it!
Well, we all know what cat sounds like or tastes like. We've all
just
eaten
go to your
Chinese.
Chinese food restaurant.
We've all had Chinese. We know.
Sean
what it
is
tastes
saying ostrich tastes like beef.
Seriously?
That's pretty neat.
I've never had ostrich.
like. I would
Me
like to
either.
have.
Size
I would
and
like to.
amount they run, I can imagine.
I would like to eat some ostrich eggs.
It's
hell
too
of an
much egg
omelet.
for me.
Those things are like big rocks, right?
Yeah, they're huge.
They're the size of your head, John.
They're huge.
Stop looking at my shells.
They're huge. Now vote for me.
Well, there's a lot of things out there I'd like to try. Ted Nugent swears by lion backstraps. I'd try it
I would too.
in a heartbeat.
Well, they only have backstrap because there's no other meat on them, right?
Ooh.
Okay, you do realize that muscle is meat.
But Ellis, remember, if you eat lion, that's like tasting wildcat.
Yeah, so.
Well, no offense, but you're still eating cat, so
Well, you know what?
I hadn't realized you turned into a North Korean.
No, it's not
Oh,
that.
that's dog. Never mind.
Well, I would
They
eat
do that in
dogs.
South Korea too. The dog festival's actually in Seoul, South Korea.
Jesus Christ. Don't tell
Yeah,
me that.
I have a friend over there teaching right now, and she's vegan, and oh my goodness, she's having a hissy fit every month when it rolls around and they're doing the dog festival. It's funny. I don't
Every
agree
month.
with the eating of the dog, but seeing her reaction is just hilarious.
Hold on a second. They do that every month?
I don't
Well,
agree with eating
not every month,
dogs
but
either.
every month that it happens, meaning every year.
Oh.
The month that it happens.
I don't agree with eating dogs either. But you know what? If it bothers a vegan, hell fucking yeah.
And why the
Yeah.
fuck why are they there?
Because she got a job teaching English to the little Koreans.
Oh, she's working for those.
Yeah.
See, here's the thing, and you can say what you want, but the fact of the matter is, if things got bad, Fido's going to become a meal.
I only eat two-legged cat.
And so will your little furry purring kitty.
No, I don't take this the wrong way, Ellis, but I don't eat pets. Okay.
Like I said, if things got bad enough, you will eat what's there.
I will not eat my pet.
Mm.
Somebody else's, maybe, but not mine.
Oh well, it's okay. But
I would eat Hugh Hefner's pets.
John,
Yes.
do you eat the liver first with a nice red wine?
I don't know if you'd call it liver, but I'd give her some wine. You're just upset you didn't say it first.
This conversation just took a bad turn, I think.
No, that started out with the eating the dogs.
I think it started before that. I'm just saying. I think it started out with a panda conversation.
Oh yeah, my chauffeur.
Your chauffeur eating your chauffeur Hannibal Lecter.
Screw that. My chauffeur's a vegan.
She puts the lotion in the bucket.
My chauffeur's gonna be a vegan.
So,
He hopes.
why don't you ask G if he'll chauffeur for you? He's a vegan.
Because he's not a panda.
Well, how do you know? We've never seen him on camera before.
Well, that's true. I'm just going by what he says.
That's actually not true.
I've never seen him on camera. Have you seen him?
I have.
Nope.
There was one video.
Has he taken it down already?
Yep.
There's a part of the things that G is computer animated is not a real person. It's just.
What are you talking about? He looks exactly like the picture that talks
Okay.
on these days.
I think the goal for September should be getting G on camera.
Not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. He doesn't even get on camera for SHOT Show.
Right.
He hasn't been on Well, he does videos. He hasn't been on camera since he's.
Well, I'm not saying he doesn't do videos, but he hasn't been on the video.
He doesn't like being on camera. Though,
I've
granted,
seen him
I
on
don't
one
like-
video back in the day when one of his early gun videos, where we got to see his face.
You guys
He's
never
probably taking
realized
that
G
down
is a
already.
Doberman?
I can't blame him. I don't like being on camera either.
G is a Doberman. He's a talking Doberman.
Yeah, he's the world's first talking Doberman. You know.
Hey, Night Strike.
Drives
see
a
him-
van, by
we
the
see
way.
him
That's
on
pretty
the-
badass.
All the time.
Night
What's up,
Strike.
Alex?
We are all very thankful that you never show up on camera.
Well, I'm sorry that I didn't inherit the family's good looks. All right.
No, you're fine. Don't worry.
We don't judge.
Fine. He's still fine.
He's fine the way he is. That's not what I meant.
Okay, that's enough of that.
Well, that little 17-year-old is here, isn't he?
He's got great personality.
That's what we're calling it now. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna go see if my panda's back from the car wash.
I think when he says panda, he means his wife.
Oh, that's
I don't
just
know.
bad,
My
man.
real- I mean, the real panda, my chauffeur. Oh, that'd be so awesome. But anyway, if any of you guys know anybody who has a red card and is available to go to Washington, you should pass the word forward, because they really are looking for people to go up there.
Go where?
To Washington for the fires.
Fires. And it doesn't matter if you're FFT1, FFT2, as long as you have your red card.
There's fires up in Washington.
Yeah, they've been going on since mid-August, early August.
Let it burn.
No, don't say that.
Maybe he'll get all the anti-gunners too.
Not that part of Washington, unfortunately.
Rats. It's never in the area you want. It's always in the area you don't want. Oh well. Yeah, better put the fire out then.
So if anybody knows anybody who has a red card and they're not in Texas, let them know.
Yeah, well, didn't you hear we may be getting another hurricane?
Where's this one supposed to hit?
What do you mean we? You as in South Carolina?
I mean, we as Americans.
Do you know where?
Yeah, it's probably it's near Puerto Rico right now. It may hit Puerto Rico, or it may go straight for Florida or South Carolina, depending on the on how the direction's going.
Man, South Carolina don't need another hit.
No, not after last year.
I know, I was there.
I know, I was there too. I had 2 weeks without power, man.
Like I said, I was living in Hardyville. I worked out on Hilton Head Island. So, you got a nice little vacation out of that.
You know, if I had known you were in South Carolina, I would have said you should have come over to Walterboro because we got hit, like, all we got were just, trees falling down. That was it.
Oh, so you didn't even get hit that bad. I mean,
No.
your immediate area.
I mean, yeah, sure, my power was out, but all we got was maybe some flooding, where the rivers are. But even then, nobody went over that area anyways.
Well, we got evacuated out of Hardyville, where we were at.
We were outside the evacuation line.
We came to Georgia here, and I seen my place of work on the news, and I was like, well, that's interesting. It was completely flooded.
So
that's why they evacuated.
Yeah.
So where in Georgia are you, Anna? Are you now?
Marietta.
Marietta, yeah. All the way in Atlanta.
Yep.
Decided to stay away from water.
Oh, well, I wish I was still there, but, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I could probably go back if I wanted to. Probably get the same job I had.
Yeah, just don't go right now.
Yeah.
Wait for this hurricane to pass by first.
What's the heat index difference, Ellis, from South Carolina to where you are now?
Atlanta.
It's cooler here, actually.
Yeah.
Seriously?
It's about. Well, you got to remember where I was at. Where I was at in South Carolina is actually a little south from where I'm at now. Plus, you're down in where I was at in South Carolina. You got the swamps and gators, and just lots of wonderful things.
Sounds like a wonderful
I thought
place.
Georgia had those kind of things also.
Not in Atlanta, no.
No. Florida, yeah. But
I think it'd be awesome if Atlanta had gators. That'd be fun as hell to people.
I lived in Atlanta for like a year before I moved to South Carolina, so
I want a croc. I don't want an alligator. I want a croc.
No, you want an alligator. They're slower.
I want a croc.
Crocodiles are too fast for you. You need an alligator.
What are you talking
Well,
about?
the
If I
croc
need to
would
get
eat your damn
someplace,
chauffeur
croc is
if
going
you
to
had
get me
to
there
go.
faster.
The problem is the
croc would eat your
crocodile
chauffeur,
would
John.
eat the chauffeur.
Well, no, the croc is the vehicle. The chauffeur is the panda, and it's on top
Now
of
that would be something to see right there.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
John, I think your imagination has run wild. You better go catch it.
That could be a new Disney Pixar movie.
Seriously.
Kung Fu Panda rides Crocodile Dundee.
That sounds like a porn.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
Bow wow. We just have developer put his theme music on it, and you get yourself a nice low budget movie.
Croc and panda chase Asian fish.
The real Miami Vice.
The real porn. The real porn. That's actually a good idea.
Name the crocodile Crockett. Name the crocodile Crockett and the panda Tubbs, and there you go.
And they travel around the world chasing Asian fish.
And bamboo.
And bamboo, he said.
Yeah. You got to stock up on that bamboo since there's very little around.
God forbid they run into Batman.
Oh man.
I'm Batman.
Cause I'm Batman. What are you doing in Asia? Cause I'm Batman.
Well, you know, that's the wonderful thing about Batman being Batman. He can answer any.
Batman.
He can answer any question you asked him with just saying that. Why are you
Because I'm
here?
Batman.
Why are you here? I'm Batman. Okay.
What are you looking for? Cause I'm Batman.
What'd you have for dinner? Because I'm Batman.
Cause I'm Batman.
Why are you on top of my girlfriend? Because I'm Batman.
Cause I'm
Because
Batman.
I'm Batman, bitch. There was something you just add bitch to the end of it. It sounds so much better. 'Cause I'm Batman, bitch.
Yeah, Patrick is out there commenting saying that no one wants this next hurricane because they're saying it may go up to a Category 5.
Really?
Well, as far as I know, nobody wants any hurricane.
Nobody wanted the last one that hit.
No, they didn't. No, but if it's a Category 5, I'm getting the fuck out because I think the last one's like a 2 or 3. I'm not sticking around for 2 or 3 for 5. Yeah, no, I don't think. I think the evacuation line will be way further
North.
north than where I am. So
I don't know.
I'll just wrap all my guns up in a blanket and take them with me.
Yeah. Well, shoot. The night before the hurricane hit, we were all at the diner working, and 3 people actually showed up for work. It was me, one of the waitresses, and one of the bosses. That was it. And we had to shut down the whole restaurant, clean it out, get everything ready. We had a few customers come in here and there, and then the next day we were all gone.
Apparently, people over there don't take hurricanes very seriously, do they?
No, they don't, because they're not used to getting hit, and when they do, it's never been a severe hurricane.
Okay.
It's like when the one hit when I was in New York, and that one hit up there a few years back. Nobody was expecting it to be nearly as bad as it was.
What hurricane hit New York?
Oh God, which one was it? Sandy?
Oh, that little thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
that little thing.
Yeah,
Funny.
that little thing wiped out a huge portion of Long Island.
John, don't say that little thing. We all know it wiped out Coney Island.
All I remember was I was out of power for 2 weeks. And
Oh,
it was
yeah.
hot, and it was hot as balls.
Yeah, and then 2 weeks later we hit a blizzard. No joke. People were still trying to get their electricity back on from the hurricane. Then this huge blizzard rolls through, drops 8-10 inches of snow.
Ah, the good days.
Yep.
The good
New
old
York
days.
is great.
At a distance.
At a distance, right?
At a distance.
What are you doing up there, Ellis?
Yeah, what the hell?
Looking for work.
Oh man, wrong place to look for work.
Well.
Yeah, you go where you can, right?
Yep.
Right.
Well, you got to remember, it was the height of the Obama administration, and nobody was hiring anywhere.
Yeah.
So, I was actually homeless there for a little while. Things got a little rough. My gun collection dwindled down to 0. But that's okay. I'm building it back.
So that means I should probably write you into my will.
Yeah, go right ahead. I'll take the rifles
Yeah, so
and whatever 1911 you happen to have lying around.
no,
I
I'm gonna
I
be
tell you what
buried
my
with that
next
one.
purchase might be, and y'all are gonna laugh your asses off. I don't give a shit. But I
You're
shot
buying
one
a high
last
point.
weekend. Buying a high point 9mm carbine, dude. Those are badass little guns.
Okay, no, we're not gonna laugh too much about the carbine. Although
Because the
you probably
carbine
should
is
get
a
a
good
Keltec.
gun.
No, what
A
I'm saying,
Keltec?
a buddy of mine got one. I shot it last weekend for $250. It's actually a really good gun
Why not get a Keltec? It takes up less room and it's much
Yeah,
lighter.
sub 2000.
because I don't have a Keltec anywhere around me. I can go down to the local gun store and they've got one. And I'm that kind of a guy, an impulse buyer. But I was really amazed. I had never shot one before until last weekend, and I was like, man, this really isn't that bad.
I'm sure it's not bad, but the issue is, if it was me, I would get a Keltec sub 2000 over a high point carbine.
Well,
I mean,
I don't want to wait either.
the aesthetics are about the same. The Keltecs are a little thinner, but the high points, yeah, they're not built for aesthetics.
No, nothing they do is for aesthetics. But for $250, it's not a bad gun.
What?
And you know what?
You said it was a 9mm.
You could spend
9mm
$150
carbine,
more dollars and get that wonderful, wonderful, wonderful handgun of theirs in 45.
I've got one of their 9s. It's my truck gun. Actually, it's my paperweight in my truck. But I've never had a problem with it. For $150, it wasn't bad for a little 9. I would say little. It's heavy as hell, but it's not bad. High points aren't as bad as people say they are. They're just ugly as hell.
Well, that's what we normally make fun of them for, just being ugly. We don't make fun of them for not working, because they work.
They're the fat chick that does everything for you, no questions asked. While still keeping in mind that they're the fat chick.
But you wouldn't want to be seen when the lights are turned on with.
Well, no. If that was the case, you wouldn't even have light bulbs. You would be you would be hoping for hurricanes to hit you constantly.
You wouldn't want mirrors in the house either.
No. But like you said, if they work, they work.
They do work. I mean, did you see Demolition Ranch's video on the high point?
Yeah, he beat the shit out of it and then he shot it.
He shot it, and even after shooting it, it still worked.
Yeah. Yeah, but that wasn't the carbine. I wonder if you did that to the carbine, would that also still
No,
work
the
out?
carbine would probably break easy because it's mostly plastic from what I hear.
The only metal in the high point carbine is the actual bullet.
No,
Wouldn't
I
that
think
be
the
funny?
barrel's metal.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be funny though? They made the barrel out of high tensile plastic, whatever it is.
No, that wouldn't work.
Well, Classic Firearms has got that high point for $249.
What, the carbine or
The carbine, yeah.
nice?
I mean, I would rather get a sub 2000 over a high point carbine. But again, personal opinion, personal preference.
I'd like to have that Freedom Ordnance FX9 carbine. $599.
Yeah, those are pretty nice too. But
But for that price, you can get 2 high point carbines.
Mhm.
I like the Keltex sub
wait a
2000
minute.
because it folds.
Hey, Ghost.
Exactly.
Ghost, listen to this, man. MKS high point 9mm rifle, 16.5-inch target stock with a 4x scope. And
Seriously?
How
Yep.
much?
249 or two no, it's 274.99,
That's
Including
not
the scope.
bad.
including the scope.
That's not bad at all.
Where's the link?
Hold on a minute.
You got to link us this shit, man.
He just bought the last one.
He
last
just made
couple
that
they had.
shit up. Don't let him lie to you.
Yeah, Well, I'm getting a copy of the link right now, gentlemen. Don't get your panties in the buns here.
And we are still waiting.
That's supposing we're wearing panties.
Well, you're probably wearing a G-string, so.
No, not at all. I'm wearing boxers.
Boxer brand panties.
But they're still pink, right?
No, they're not. I've never spent time in Joe Arpaio's prison. I have never been inside of, Tent City.
Inside Joe.
There's
You've
the
never
link,
been inside
gentlemen.
Joe.
There's your little link.
It's out there in the chat.
It's there. It's really not a bad looking rifle.
I'm telling you.
Oh, I'd pick one up. I mean, I wouldn't buy one of the pistols, but that I would actually buy.
Does that stock fold?
No, I think this
No,
is
it
the
doesn't look
this
like
one,
it.
this one doesn't fold.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
What you see is what you get over there.
I mean, if that stock folded left or right, I wouldn't mind it so much.
yeah,
okay,
but what kind of 4X scope is it though? Is it the one that kids can buy for their paintball gun?
No,
Or is
it
it like a
probably
real
looks like
scope?
something that belongs on like a BB gun, or maybe those pellet guns.
Okay, I've decided I'm going to start up a GoFundMe.
For a high point, that's sad.
No. For Chris Vector.
He's looking at the vectors now.
I'm looking at a Vector.
I will
So
tell
that-
you what you would
that high
love.
point-
And I've got one. I mean, it's obviously not $250, but the CX4, the Beretta CX4, might be the greatest gun I have on my arsenal. It's awesome.
I want a Vector.
9mm.
Yeah, I tell you what's a good one is that CZ Scorpion. Those are pretty nice also. Because you can add a little pistol brace to it and basically turn it into a little SBR without having to pay the stamp on it.
Hold on.
Because it's still
Colin,
considered
time
a
out.
pistol if you put a brace on it.
Don't say to get around or anything, because you're not trying to obfuscate the law.
Oh, of course not. I'm just saying, if you don't want to make it an SBR, you can get a pistol brace and do the same thing.
So that high point is $274 because the scope is $74.
No, I think the gun's usually about $249. So it's a $25
Yeah.
scope, which tells you exactly what it is.
Piece of crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, having a Vector would be nice, or a Scorpion with the fun button.
What do you think of the Scorpion?
The Evo?
Oh, sorry, my mic was way on my forehead.
You're talking about the Evo?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah,
what did
I had
you
the
think of
Evo.
Scorpion?
It was pretty cool. I mean, most of the people that bought it SBR'd it. If I were to buy it again, that's what I would buy it for.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty pointless as a pistol, but I sold it back when the polymer, the see-through polymer mags were cracking everywhere. Everybody was posting pictures of the mags, like the feed lips cracking and shit. I think they solved that problem. Then they came out with a completely like Gen 2 Scorpion Evo. So yeah, I sold that. And it was cool though. It was fun.
I've heard they're really good.
They got rifle length carbines now too. If I was
Are
gonna
they-
get a carbine, I would
Oh, really?
get that. Yeah.
Are they weighty or are they on the light side?
It was pretty hefty. I mean, it was like 5 pounds.
Okay, that's not terrible.
But it didn't feel like a cheap piece of plastic junk. I mean, it was solid.
That's
Yeah.
that.
Yep, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start a GoFundMe. And you people can help me buy that Chris Vector. Pick up a suppressor for it. And if you're
Yeah.
nice, I'll let you touch it.
They have the one that comes with the shroud, the fake suppressor.
I will let you touch it for a minimal fee of $5 each.
So you know what? The girl down the block from me does the same thing for $10. So you're actually a better deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Else will open the first Chris Vector petting zoo.
And then after that, we'll move on to the P90.
You might have to start another GoFundMe for that one.
Mm-hmm.
For what? I missed that.
I said I'm going to start a GoFundMe to pick up that Chris Vector
Oh,
and a suppressor for it,
yeah.
and then charge everybody a $5 fee to touch it.
After they've already funded you for buying it,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
kind of bullshit, man. If I help you buy that shit, I want to fucking shoot it for free.
Okay, but you got to buy your own ammunition. Oh, wait a minute! You got sponsors. Your ammunition's free anyway.
I want sponsors.
So do I. Tell your sponsors to contact me.
I'm going to say that Vector is pretty sweet, though.
You know
Yeah.
what? The first time I laid eyes on one of those, I was like, look at this. I mean, I just thought it was amazing looking. I've never actually had one in my hands, but and what's going to happen is when I actually do get one and actually fire a couple of rounds through it, it's going to be like a huge letdown. I'm like, damn.
You got to get the one with the select fire.
Yeah.
For $1,600, I don't think it'll be a letdown. I'm pretty sure that if you're going to charge $1,600, it's going to be pretty damn bad.
Sure, you just have to get your FFL, SOT, and then it'll be like $2,000 at the end of the day.
Yeah,
And
since
like
you're
a
having-
year or so to wait.
Well, say if I'm going to spend that much money, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the short barrel version, and selector switch. Might as well go all out if you're going to do it. And the
If it's ask
suppressor.
Santa Claus, he might bring it to you.
No, me and him had a disagreement several years back.
Did he give you coal?
He gave me coal, which I was happy about because it was cold outside. Giving me coal is not an issue with me because it.
Well, you
keeps
are
my-
from West Virginia, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, they mine coal there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Coal's
kinda
a good
redundant,
thing.
man. Come up with something a little more original, dude.
Aside from owning a farm, my great grandfather was a coal miner.
Well, my dad and my grandfather was a coal miner, and on both sides of my family. My dad was also a part-time gunsmith, and my grandfathers were both farmers as well as coal miners.
So take that, Santa.
So fuck you, Santa.
Suck it.
Bring my damn cold down here.
I'm cold.
Cold. So have we ever figured out? So Ellis, you were at an actual Hatfield, and I think that Night Strike said that somewhere down the line he's a Hatfield. Are y'all related?
Probably.
Yeah.
Damn, that's scary. That's a fucked up family reunion right there.
Yeah, you know what's really scary is he's less than 400 miles from where I'm sitting. Actually, probably less 250 miles. So
That's
if we
even
ever got
scarier,
together, if we ever got together,
That'd be a messed up looking kid. I'm just saying.
oh,
That's not what he meant at
Well,
all.
you got to clarify yourself here.
it'd still look better than Ghost though. It would still look better than Ghost.
Hey,
But-
I never said I was pretty.
If we ever hung out, I probably would buy Ellis more than a couple beers. We'll just put it that way.
Netflix and chill.
What is that? Did you buy him more than one or two beers? Makes you look prettier to him or something, or what?
Just look, dude. Just don't try to roofie me. Whatever you do, no roofs.
Yeah, I'll get you cans. You'll be fine.
Oh, hell.
Oh God, you guys. Always down the gutter with you two.
We can't help it.
What do you mean, you people?
I mean, you people, get over it.
Use guys.
No, John. Use
Did we just
guys is
offend
only
Ellis?
for people in New York.
I
Not
didn't,
y'all.
I
Y'all
didn't say that.
but I think we offended Ellis. He just left.
All y'all.
What y'all's doing down there, man?
No, I don't think you offended Ellis. I think he just lost connection because
No,
I
I'm
think
just messing with
he's
you.
on his tablet most of the time.
Yeah. It's a pretty day down here in Arkansas.
Oh yeah, it's pretty nice down here in Georgia too.
It's about 81 degrees and sunny. It's beautiful.
All y'all's is gay, use fags. I used both of them in one sentence.
Trigger.
Moon, shut up and go ring that Liberty Bell some more.
Where? What?
Yeah,
Rings
it's took a
bell.
turn.
Triggered me. That's not fair.
Ring my bell.
Oh God, don't do that.
He is from Arkansas. Remember that.
No, I'm not. I live in Arkansas, dude. I'm from Dallas. Big difference. My family's trees does not go straight up, okay?
Okay, so it branches once or twice as it goes up.
I mean, there's some weird people.
Well,
The hills of Arkansas, there's some strange ones.
Family does make mistakes.
I'm pretty sure I was a milkman baby because my dad's 6'1", his dad was 6'4", and I'm not. So I think I was a milkman kid.
I'm not.
I'm not.
Yeah, we won't hold it against you. Unless, of course, you want to pay us $10.
I gotta go. Be back in a little bit.
Imagine all those kids who are actually milkmen's children at school. Like, hey, you're the milkman's kid. Yeah, no shit.
No
My
kids will be
dad.
like, yeah, fuck you. I got the milk, bitch.
Or the mailman.
He lives in my house.
See, the mailman comes around more than the milkman. So
Wait, you said mailman or milkman?
Either one.
Oh.
Whichever one stops in and gets your wife pregnant while you're at work.
Fucking Jody.
Well, that could be anybody.
The plumber.
I had a friend that made the comment one
Electrician.
time that if his wife ever turned up pregnant by somebody else, that was fine with him as long as the dude paid the bills for 6 months.
6 months, that's a deal. 18 years. Gotta deal with that kid that ain't yours for 18 years.
That's like an incentive to go specifically go out and get other people's other wives pregnant.
Yes, but think about it. How many bills can you rack up in 6 months' time?
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess if you
That
plan out that kid's like whole life for 18 years in 6 months, and then send them the bill for like $1 million.
and credit cards go out the
Fuck
roof.
yeah. No, you send the kid the fucking bill when they turn 18.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Maybe fucked up, but not a bad idea, don't you think?
You gotta make sure that kid's successful so he can pay it.
I'm eating my York peppermint patty, so I don't.
Well, what would end up happening is your kid hits 17 years old and he tells you his life's ambition is to be a street performer.
No, then you're fucked.
Yeah, unless he's like a really badass break dancer, you're screwed.
What century are you guys in?
21st.
Sometime in the 17th century, I think.
The 16th?
You know, I just seen Daniel Boone's walk by the house, so.
Oh, maybe the 18th, because I think I saw Davy Crockett the other day.
Of course, you know, I'm sure there's somebody in here that's from the 23rd, 24th century, too, so.
Duck Dodgers.
Duck Dodgers.
And if that's the case, I want my laser gun, damn it.
Buffering succotash.
John, go get us our laser guns.
Pew 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 pew. See, I was desk popping all over the house just now with my laser guns.
Right,
Pew, pew,
right.
Pew 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 pew.
You're only doing that because New York doesn't have a law against that yet.
Against laser guns? Damn straight. You're just
Yes.
jealous.
And the only problem with that is now your next door to your next door to your next door neighbor has a hole plumbed through his house.
Shit happens. That's what you get when you don't make any laws against it.
And you just cooked all the food in the refrigerator.
I was hungry.
Now, I think I want either a particle beam or an ion cannon. Oh, either one.
I'm a time machine.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I could think of a few places back in history I'd like to stop by at.
No, I'm going back in time to pick up some McRibs.
No, see, I've got grander vision than that. I'm thinking ancient Egypt.
They had McRibs?
No, but if I take an M16, a 12 gauge shotgun, and a couple pistols, I'm going to be a god. So, You show up, you shoot one dude in the head 200 yards away, drop him like a sack of potatoes, and they'll be throwing gold at you. Then you hop into your little time machine and come back.
Can't you just take the time machine, hop into the tombs themselves, grab the gold, and get out?
What kind of sick individual are you? God, robbing somebody's tomb.
I didn't say penetrate the tomb itself.
Well,
Why
now
would
you're
you want?
talking.
Okay,
Now you're
no.
talking sexual, wanting to penetrate some dead dude.
Hey, what you do on your back in time machine is your business.
And remember,
Happens
John
back
wouldn't
in
go
time,
after the
stays
dudes;
back
he'd
in
only
time.
go after the women.
What happens back in time stays back in time.
It's not Vegas. Nice try.
Uh-huh. Well, if that's the case, maybe you need to go to ancient Rome. They actually encouraged homosexuality back then.
And they made really nice gold coins.
Yep. They figured that you would fight harder for your lover than you would your friend.
Well, you and Night Strike being family would work really well together.
Oh
Yes,
boy.
except Night Strike don't have enough money.
Well, you will. When you go back in time, you'll have all the money you need.
Yeah,
Yeah, but then I gotta share it with him.
It's family. What else are you gonna do? Come on.
We could go bear hunting, I guess. I ain't gotta outrun the bear. I just gotta outrun Night Strike. He ain't gonna be running too fast with a bullet in his leg.
oh wow. I'll be sure to bring my Chris Vector with me.
Oh,
You didn't even finish the GoFundMe. How were you able to afford it?
Well, if we're gonna shoot somebody and get all the gold from it, I'll go and buy a Chris Vector with it.
oh, yeah, there you go. See, now you're thinking.
I buy a Chris Vector, but I won't let Ellis touch it. He'll have to buy his own.
That's fine. That's
Sorry, Ellis,
That's-
you're gonna have to pay up if you want to touch his.
He can't touch mine.
yours is
Now,
too
Night
small
Strike,
anyway.
Please show us on the diagram all
Just
the
because
places.
I got the SBR for it doesn't mean you have to get all jealous.
Yours is too small anyway.
Really? I thought 45 was a good caliber.
No. I want a 10 millimeter.
Ah, overachiever.
I'm compensating.
I can tell.
And I think we just killed the chat.
Gee, you think?
This is now the late night show.
During the daytime.
Where did Smeggy go? On a run for some Fago?
Yeah.
Skittles?
He has to buy up all the Fago and Skittles in Detroit.
I hope he's not wearing a hood and he gets back okay.
Well, I don't know. He is white. He might be in trouble.
Yep. It's white as shit, actually. Casper the Friendly Snowman.
Wow. Moon went there. I didn't even have to say anything.
Oh, yeah, I'm so white, even white people call me white.
So white, he's whiter than sour cream.
Well, then, this is the Every Second Matters chat.
No, I don't think so. It's the Every Second Matters lobby.
Okay.
I think G-Webs might do the Every Second Matters chat later. He's doing it today.
I think every third matters too. That's just me.
What's the Third Amendment again?
Something about ammunition.
No, I think it's about quartering.
No, it's about ammunition. You have to have ammunition to go with the Second Amendment. And if it's not there, damn it, it should be.
No, I was right. The Third Amendment's about quartering. Quartering soldiers in people's
Posse
houses.
comitatus. Posse Akuna Matata.
Yeah, basically they can't force their way into your house.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah, like redcoat cocksuckers. No knock warrants throwing fucking gas grenades into baby cribs. Seems like it's still happening.
Hey, have any of y'all seen the?
Wow, Pennsylvania must be a really dangerous place, man.
It is. Both in the backwoods and the city.
Yeah, they have bears in Pennsylvania.
And we're not just talking about Moon before he shaves.
Has any of y'all ever seen the TNW Firearms Aero Survival Rifle? That is cool.
Does it fold?
Yeah, I think it does. It comes apart in sections.
I don't think I have.
Sale price $5.99 at Cabela's. Semi-automatic tactical rifle, chambered in what, 9mm?
You ever see the Taurus carbine?
Taurus makes a carbine?
Yeah.
They did make it. I think they stopped making it. I don't know if they still make it.
Bless you.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm allergic to Night Strike.
I'm allergic to Ellis, so there we go.
It's okay.
And it should cancel each other out, and then you'll be fine.
I think we're both allergic to John, though.
Yeah.
It's that whole New York thing.
I thought it was the Panda chauffeur.
No, the Panda chauffeur's cool. But, of course, the Panda chauffeur is going to get eaten by the crocodile vehicle, so.
Yeah, that always puts a hamper on things.
If my croc eats my Panda, he's going to make me a really nice leather belt.
Dude, it's a crocodile. You can make boots and belts out of him.
Damn
and a nice
straight.
hat band.
Can you make a do-rag out of it?
That'd be an expensive do-rag.
Like I guess it would be his belly skin.
Well, it's not going to happen because I told him if he eats the Panda, he loses union benefits. All right.
A panda do-rag?
Panda rag.
That's crazy. It's gangster as shit.
Panda on the rag.
Panda.
Canik TP9 safety issues, safety warning, and severe duty upgrade.
It's a Canik. Are you surprised?
No.
I know I'm not.
But it's, Odd that Matt would put a video up about it.
Probably because a lot of his listeners have Tauruses and Canics and
And
Taurus
Skies and
and Maverick 88s. I read an article where it was like everybody's dropping their guns now, trying to test their guns, and that's how they figured out that. That's how they figured out that Canic problem. And now
Seriously?
Canic has that massive recall. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, a lot of Matt's viewers have miles in the guts too.
So something's not. It doesn't have. It shouldn't have anything to do with the trigger at a certain point because the Canic trigger has just like a Glock trigger. It has that safety dongle thing.
All right, before anyone starts bashing Canic, keep in mind that the guys who did this dropped that Canic over 30 times onto concrete. Okay?
But they said
Over
they were
30
also.
fucking times. 30 times from 6 feet on concrete before it failed. And guess what? Glock fails that test too. And it has failed that test. Okay? So like
Wow,
any
sounds
gun
like we
can
have a
fail that
Canic lover
fucking
in
test.
here.
Uh-oh.
They also
Uh-oh.
said. They also said people were deforming parts to make it happen too. Like that would never actually happen during regular fire or use.
You know, I'm sorry, dude. You take something that's not like that's not supposed to be dropped, and you drop it 30 fucking times, and then it finally breaks. I mean, what do you expect? I mean, yeah, I can drop a fucking revolver 30 times from 6 feet onto concrete and have it break too, and have it. You know, I mean, any gun. I mean,
Canic salesman.
show me one gun that you can drop 30 fucking times onto concrete from over 6 feet tall. You know that's not going to have a fucking issue come up. I mean, it doesn't exist. I mean, they're not supposed to. No guns made to take that kind of fucking abuse.
Okay, we get it. You're pro Canic.
No, I'm just pro correct information. People are making it sound like, oh, they did the SIG test on it, and it was like the SIG where it fired on a brand new gun the first drop. No, it's not like the fucking SIG.
And I would still own and carry the SIG.
But you know what I hear quiet? I hear all the
Ba-dum-bum.
Glock fanboys real quiet about how Gen 5s are flying apart in their hands while shooting them. I've heard everyone be real quiet about that.
When does that happen? I've never heard that.
Two different police departments have reported it so far.
That was months ago though.
Yeah, and it's real quiet, isn't it, dude? It's like real quiet. Like, you know.
Anybody that cares about it knew about it. I knew about it. People read about it. These aren't the same as the FBI Glocks. First of all, they upgraded the takedown lever spring, which was the problem, the slide stop or lock or whatever the fuck.
They upgraded the not flying apart while shooting button.
Basically.
That's like the best feature in any gun.
Well, anyway, it was just like a couple failed springs because they changed the spring in it from a leaf spring to a coil spring.
The thing about it is every gun company, if they haven't, eventually they will put out something that's, not going to work 100% right off the bat. While they have, testing periods. And if something goes wrong, you send it back, they fix it, hopefully, and not raise the price on the overall product 100%.
Yeah, I'm sure. I got this Gen 5 Glock today, and I'm sure there's going to be internal and quietly internal upgrades and stuff like that, changes that happen over the years, over the next couple of years.
What happened to the layaway?
It was on layaway for like 16 hours.
15 minutes. If I put
Come lay away, come lay away, come lay away with me.
I'm good.
Yeah,
Thanks.
so the boss is here. We got to behave.
Uh-oh.
All right, stop that
It's
shit. I
all
ain't-
Elsa's fault.
And I'll quit coming in if you're gonna act like that. So I'm not down.
No.
Ain't nobody bossing me. I do what I want, whatever.
Uh-huh.
Except for Santa. Santa Claus.
I'm still wanting my coal, damn it.
Gotta burn that coal.
Hey, Smeggy, I do whatever I want. That's the girl from South Park, right?
If by that you mean Cartman, then yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know I have never watched that show? Not the first episode.
I've
Did
only
you
ever,
watch the last episode?
I've only ever seen clips that like happen in front of me and never watched the show.
I think it's pretty good. I like it.
What show?
South Park.
Park.
Yeah. They were playing it for a while on YouTube. Like they had 24-hour live.
Oh, every
streams
show,
of
every
South
show has
Park.
those, man. You can search for
Yeah, yeah.
anything, and you'll find a live stream that's just showing stuff.
And then I
then
watched
it
the
gets
old,
shut down, and then
cartoon.
someone makes a new channel and starts doing it again.
Yeah. I watched like old Warner Brothers cartoons one day. In
I
the
got to watch a
background.
Mighty Mouse on there one day.
Oh, Mighty
That-
Mouse.
that-
I love Mighty
Yeah,
Mouse.
that tells you how old I am, huh?
I love Mighty Mouse.
Mighty Mouse is cool.
He's the shit.
Well, Mighty Mouse, Underdog,
It's a bird.
Jabberjaws.
It's a plane. It's a frog. A frog? No, it's Underdog.
Speed Buggy.
Speed Buggy.
Speed Buggy.
Remember Speed Racer? That was pretty good.
Yeah, Speed Racer was good.
Speed Racer.
Oh, wait a minute. The Blue Falcon.
Ooh.
Remember Power Rangers?
Oh, God.
Yes.
You had to ruin it.
Yeah. Well, wasn't that like a Transformers knockoff thing?
More like
But-
more like a
but-
live action Voltron, technically.
Right, because I mean the things were just a big robot. Like there wasn't other stuff. It was stuff coming together.
Well,
And actually,
see,
I guess it was-
It was a Transformers knockoff because the Transformers started that with Devastator.
I'm not sure if they were first with that. Because Power Rangers was a
Power
foreign
Rangers from
show
like the 70s.
way before it came into America. That's why like the bad guys, like the witch lady or whatever, her lips don't line up because they redubbed it.
They say, yeah.
So
They
all the
lip-synced
fight,
it.
you mean
all the
redub?
fight scenes were already filmed with them being like ninjas and whatnot, and then they just got American actors to like be the high school kids or whatever,
Yeah.
and then it'd fight to clip to the fight scene, and that
And
was
do the
already all
voice
done
acting.
before.
Well, I have to admit, I did watch the new Power Rangers movie, and it wasn't bad.
I didn't mind it. I don't know anything about that show, but I watched that new one because it was on, and it was all right.
It was a pretty good movie, wasn't it?
I'm not going to go around watching it again or nothing, but yeah, I'm not going to bitch about it. It was all right.
I
I
can't
don't
wait.
understand none of it, so I don't know if it's like with the TV show. I assume it was, but it might be wrong from the TV show for all I know.
Well, I think they've
Uh,
had multiple TV shows. Like I remember they started like getting different people and doing different stuff. I didn't watch any of those. I was a little older by that point, but the original one. In fact, I was a little old for when the original one came out, but I still watched it.
The Mighty Morphin Walker Texas Power Rangers.
That would be awesome.
They have to use Colt Walkers.
No,
Chuck
just
Norris
have
has to
Chuck-
be there.
Chuck Norris just fights the robot all by himself.
No, not even Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris sits back and his chin kicks its ass.
Ooh. Well, there's no chin underneath Chuck Norris's beard. Only another fist.
You mess with Chuck Norris, you'll see a fist. Don't mess with the chin.
I
Why
like the
did
one
they
where
not?
Chuck Norris's tears cure cancer? Too bad he never cries.
What was the other one? They didn't find any nuclear weapons or weapons of mass destruction in Iraq because Chuck Norris lives in Texas.
I think there was like a little article online about real things, real memes of Chuck Norris, and one was when Chuck Norris turned 18, his parents moved out.
This one's really nerdy, but I like Chuck Norris can divide by 0.
When Chuck Norris was born, he drove his mom home from the hospital.
Chuck Norris doesn't do push-ups. He pushes the earth down.
Chuck Norris has a diary. It's called the Guinness Book of World Records.
Chuck Norris likes gun rights. Every second matters.
Chuck Norris threw a grenade and killed 50 people. Then it exploded.
Wow.
Oh, so he threw a 320 and a Glock Gen 5 together?
Chuck Norris doesn't worry about high gas prices. His vehicle runs on fear.
Wow.
That's not bad.
That just means that means he'd have to have people with him all the time because he never gets scared. So he can't power it himself. That's a bad design flaw. John, your car sucks.
He's conscious and is afraid.
My absolutely favorite Chuck Norris thing was one that said he got drunk one night and as a joke he pissed into the gas tank of a semi-trailer, and from that point on that semi was known as Optimus Prime.
Wow.
When a zombie apocalypse starts, Chuck Norris doesn't try to survive. The zombies do.
Wow. They should have Chuck Norris come on as a cameo on Walking Dead. That'd be pretty cool.
Holy shit, it's Chuck Norris. And then a zombie tries to rush him. Roundhouse kick.
Even Bigfoot claims to have seen Chuck Norris.
So I've been watching YouTube over the last couple of days, and its design is not getting much better. It's not populating.
I've been saying the same thing for the last 2 weeks.
I haven't noticed the difference. What happened?
No, I've been hoping that
I noticed the new design like a couple days ago.
Yeah, but I was hoping that it was like not fully, like downloaded. I was hoping they were in the midst of fixing it still, because it was looked like it was under repair. But it's like this now. It'll probably go out. It takes a long time to go out to that many people. Plus, I'm sure
The boogeyman looks under his desk or under his bed for Chuck Norris.
They're regretting it because they put buttons away, like the buttons that are normally out are gone. So I'm sure they're getting all kinds of tech support flood of questions.
Trending subscriptions history. Watch later. My
Chuck
playlist.
Norris doesn't cheat death. He wins fair and square.
I think it looks the same as usual.
Well, no,
Yeah,
you'll get the update here in a bit. You'll know when it changes. It looks like all again.
What about the app? Is the app changed?
Yeah, the app on the phone changed too.
I haven't noticed that. I don't pay enough attention to the app. All I do is look for my way to post a video and then post a video. I really don't look at videos too often on it.
Yeah, the mobile.
Here,
the apps.
This is like the new layout. Everything's like bigger. Because and that what sucks
That's what mine looks like.
is this is how big.
Yeah.
This is how big my window normally is, right? Because I like to have like chat boxes over here and different stuff. And yeah, when it's like kind of minimized like this, it's just like I couldn't figure out where to like add a video and crap, but it's all under here, like Joe's.
It's under there. Well, so you don't have like
Oh, I see. The top bar is gone where it's like my channel and
Yeah, that's one of the
stuff like
things.
that.
No, he's just scrolled down. Right?
No, it's not there.
No, they got
You
rid
gotta
of it.
click. You gotta click on your icon all the way on the right.
Right.
Go to your
Be
channel.
My channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took me a minute to figure out how to live stream because I'm like, wait, where's the little thing to like get to make videos?
I still got my thing at the top here.
You got to go over to Creator Studio here to get it to pop up.
You don't got this? You're talking about this?
No, you got that. It's just that there was a bar at the top or no, maybe my channel was on the side where home and trending was, and then when you went
it used to be on the side.
Now
And
it's
now
on your. It's on when you click your icon.
Oh.
That's not that bad.
No, I don't like the icons. I can't see it like here. Go back to the screen share. Over here where you have like channels that you follow, so you can like promote other people or whatever.
Yeah.
You can't even tell what Clover Tech is. You can tell what its gun logos or Gunlight's channels is. Look at Matt's though. Looks like a little nothing. Thinks you can barely tell what it is. Rick, good luck. What's his face? Every second matters just looks like a weird gray smear. So I don't like that. I don't care what it says. Everybody's visual. What are we looking at fucking words for? I don't like it.
Right. I remember one of the updates back in the day. It went to like when the new video pops up, you know, like you're looking through your home list or whatever. It would just have the person's icon. It didn't say their channel name till you like clicked on the video.
Yeah, till you actually gave a shit. But now you could just recognize by sight, right?
Yeah, you could just see like, okay, I just look at this picture or whatever.
Chuck Norris is the reason Waldo is hiding.
All right. Would a Strike Industries AR-15 carbine flat wire spring work in an AR-10 carbine buffer tube? Patrick is asking Dead Horse. I have no idea.
What's the difference between an AR-10 carbine and an AR-15 as far as that goes? The buffer tubes are not the same?
In the last 28 days, people have watched 2 years and 332 days worth of my videos.
Wow.
That's basically 3 years worth of my videos in a month. I feel like I pulled one over on them.
Sounds like you got a stalker.
You invented a time machine.
I cram time folding. It's no big deal, Smeggy. Basically, you just take a bunch of time and you record it. And then over a certain amount of time, let's say 7 or 8 years, you just take that recorded time and lay it down in present time. That becomes the past. Now you just fold it. And you can eventually get through 2.5 years, almost 3 years worth of folded time into 30 days worth of actual past.
Well, I mean, that's basically right. If you get, quantum entangled, you get two things quantum entangled, and then you send one of them very far away, and you put it next to like a really high gravity source, so time slows down for it, and then you've got like a link between the two, and then that's how you can make a time machine. But unfortunately, you can never like,
or a place where you can go where time is slower, and then you can come back. Because I'd put up some sort of a tunnel there, and then go hang out. And like when you go, everybody else goes to bed. You just go spend a few years in your time.
Oh yeah, you could teleport like next to a black hole or something, and teleport back.
You both are forgetting one minor little detail.
Reality?
Where are you going to put the flux capacitor? You can't time travel without a flux capacitor.
Sure you can. You just need quantum entanglement. And time dilation.
Did nobody ever watch Back to the Future, for crying out loud?
Oh, of course we catch the reference. I'm just speaking in actual things.
No, you've got to have a flux capacitor, man.
Yeah, but that
and
doesn't
a DeLorean.
I'm not smart enough to talk in actual things. Got to be the flux capacitor.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go jump over to Every Second Matters. So,
yep,
I'm gonna shut this lobby down. Out. If someone else wants to put up a lobby or whatever, we can post it.
Hey,
But I'm
Schmeggy.
gonna... What?
Schmeggy. Want to
What?
see my buttocks?
Boy, I sure am glad I stuck around for that. What the fuck, dude? Thought you were gonna say something worthwhile.
You're talking about John, and he's from New York, dude.
What the fuck? Like the Wicked Witch.
No, I'm Rita from the Power Rangers.
Oh, I didn't watch that shit because I was out getting laid when that shit was on.
Oh, you were missing out, man.
No.
Let's see. I was like, actually, I don't know. I wonder what year that was. I was, like I said, kind of a kid. Probably like upper elementary school, maybe middle school.
Wasn't in my generation.
I can say this: I was not getting laid at the time Power Rangers was on because I probably was like middle schoolish age. And I'm confident enough to say that I wasn't getting laid in middle school.
No, that's when I started getting laid.
That's for me. That's when boobies were the big thing.
Really stopped.
I don't care whose boobies. Whose boobies.
Yeah, he was glued to the TV watching Saved by the Bell.
I watched
Saved by the Bell was a good show.
The History Channel and Discovery Channel were good back then.
Yeah, a lot of boobies on the History Channel.
No, I was just bored of science.
I'm going back to my old rule that I forgot about, and that's I'm just going to ignore John. I tried treating him like a regular human. I've decided that's a mistake.
I'm sorry, what were you saying? I was ignoring you.
Good. Let's keep it that way. I think that's an agreement we both can stand by. All right, I'm shutting this bitch down. I'll see you guys later.
Yep.